All right, let's talk about Terrence Bud Crawford versus Shawn Porter. Before we get into that, I would like to talk about the comments of Derek James. And Derek James basically saying that Terrence Bud Crawford is fighting a defeated fighter. He basically said that fighting Errol Spence took something out of Shawn Porter, so he's basically fighting somebody that's already broken. Number one, as we all know, that's complete bullshit. That's a protection contingency plan that Derek James is putting out of there because they're fully aware of what the fuck's going to happen to Shawn Porter. And if that is the case, how can you say that Errol Spence took something out of somebody who, with a fighter that he arguably lost against? You know, a lot of people think that Shawn Porter won that fight. I think Errol Spence won the fight. The knockdown basically declared it, but he had a tough time with Shawn Porter. So how did he take something out of Shawn Porter when Shawn Porter was actually outboxing Errol Spence, got him to freeze, even backed him up? And Shawn Porter was giving him such problems. If you remember in the fight, Errol Spence started the fight dirty and was throwing shots to the groin. I remember that perfectly. You can go back and watch the fight. You know, he talked about Shawn Porter being a dirty fighter, but when Shawn Porter was putting that heat on his ass, Errol Spence started the fight dirty. So there's nothing that was taken out of Shawn Porter by fighting Errol Spence. That's just complete bullshit. Now, moving on to Shawn Porter versus Terrence Bud Crawford, what do I think? It's almost no way that Shawn Porter walks away from this fight without getting knocked out. His style is such that come forward, head down style. I mean, he's doing better at boxing now, but you don't want to box with Bud. So the best thing you could do is put some pressure on Bud. But at the same time, you don't want to put no pressure on Bud. It's actually a bad matchup for Shawn Porter all the way around because his style is conducive for him to get knocked out. You know, he's going to catch something coming in from Terrence Bud Crawford, and that's all it is to it. I wouldn't be surprised if Terrence Bud Crawford do this shit in about 6 or 7 rounds. Easy, you know? And I think he knows that. That's why Shawn Porter even jumped out the window saying, look, I'm going to knock Bud out and all that stuff. He's basically telling you what he believes going to happen to him. And Shawn Porter ain't knocking nobody out. You know what I'm saying? He definitely ain't knocking no Bud Crawford off. And the last thing you want to do is actually piss Crawford off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to piss him off because he especially going to do your ass dirty. But since Shawn Porter got that come forward ass style, it's most definitely he going to run into something. You know what I'm saying? Bud's a good counter. Man, Bud's just a good all-around fighter, period. And he got dog in him. You know? So you can go ahead and try to outbox him. He going to fuck you up. You can go ahead and bully him. He going to fuck you up. So I can't see what Shawn Porter can actually do to pose a problem for Terrence Bud Crawford, and that's just how it is. Now, we all know that once Terrence Bud Crawford dispatches of Shawn Porter, you know, I mean, he's not going to get his credit. You know, there's some fighters that's just not going to get that credit. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the fucked up things with Terrence Bud Crawford because they supposedly wanted him to fight somebody. And, I want you to fight a real opponent. And then when he gets one, then, people are out there quick to discredit him. But he's definitely going to do a more thorough job with Shawn Porter than Errol Spence did. And speaking of Errol Spence, I done already told people, Errol Spence cannot define how good Terrence Bud Crawford is. We need somebody better, stronger, faster, just a better boxer, just all the way around. We all know that Errol Spence can't hold a candle to Terrence Bud Crawford. We already know that Errol Spence does not want to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. He doesn't want to fight Terrence Bud Crawford, and his handlers, most importantly, don't want him to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. And this is something that we all know. It kills me how people pretend and act dumb. And, we grown men watching the sport, and yet we make up excuses for other grown men, for shit that we can obviously see. It's obvious he doesn't want to fight Terrence Bud Crawford at all. You know what I'm saying? That's just obvious. So as far as Shawn Porter being some kind of gauge or test of how Errol Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford fight will come out, man, it's nothing like that at all. You know what I'm saying? I just think that Terrence Bud Crawford need to look for bigger fish in the sea. He need a bigger challenge, you know, because Errol Spence is not that big challenge. Errol Spence, I mean, nobody even know what the fuck is going on with Errol Spence. He don't seem like the same guy. Every time you see him, he hugged up with Yellow Breezy. It seemed like he more concerned with, you know, having a face off with Yellow Breezy than he is with, you know, Terrence Bud Crawford. But as far as the fight between him and Shawn Porter, man, Shawn Porter getting knocked out, period. Knocked out, stopped, I mean, whatever you want to call it. This is one of those fights where his aggression is going to play against him, you know. This is one of those fights where being too tough will get you fucked up, you know, straight up. I mean, we're all watching this because it's just going to be fun to watch Bud dispatch Shawn Porter. You know, I mean, that's really what it is. Like, did anybody really believe that Shawn Porter can stop, fuck up, or beat Terrence Bud Crawford? I mean, just honestly, does anybody really believe that? I mean, this is boxing and anything is possible, don't get me wrong. But come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. That's why I thought this is a fight I didn't even really need to too much talk about. I mean, it's Bud we talking about, man. You know, so, you know, one thing's for sure, however he does it, you know, it's not going to be good enough. It's going to be some reason. It's going to be something. The real question at the end of the day is, who can we get to bring the best out of Bud? Because that's not Errol Spence. And I want to see how good Bud Crawford actually is. I want to see him really tested. I want to see somebody press him. I want to see somebody hurt him. And either Errol Spence or Shawn Porter is the guys to do that. You know, but you know, when you're into the sport and when you like it like that, you want to see your favorite fighters tested. You want to see them swim in the deep water. You know what I'm saying? You want to see them overcome some shit. You want to see exactly what they made out of, you know. But, you know, when you're a fanboy, like some other people, you know, you just want them to take easy fights and not be tested, but yet get the reputation and the accolades as somebody who's doing something damaging and daring and all that other shit. And, you know, that's just shit that real boxing fans don't get into. So the question is, to me, it's not really about Shawn Porter. Who do you guys think out there that can really test Terrence Bud Crawford? You know what I'm saying? Who would you like to see besides an Errol Spence? Because, like I said, Errol Spence is on a farm, Brokeback Mountain with Yellow Breezy. You know what I'm saying? So the question is, who is it out there that we want to see him fight, and who can test Bud? I'll put it like this. Fuck that. You know how you need to look at it? Look at it like, who do you think can beat Bud's ass? If there's a boxer who you think can beat Bud's ass, leave it in the comment section. I want to see what y'all come up with. But as far as Shawn Porter versus Terrence Bud Crawford, knockout, bro. Knockout. 6-7 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Anything beyond that be a failure to me. You know what I'm saying? Because Terrence Bud Crawford got more than enough tools to smoke this cat. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how aggressive, how hyperactive he is, how much he want to march forward. You know, Shawn Porter ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? He know this is his last big payday. You know, he know that. But anyways, that's just my thoughts on it. I'm out.